Solving equations with variables on both sides. Step 1, distribute. Step 2, combine like terms. Step 3, add or subtract to move the variable term to one side of the equation. Then add or subtract the constant term to move it to the other side of the equation. Step 4, once you have the variable term on one side of the equation and a constant on the other side of the equation, multiply by the reciprocal of the coefficient of the variable. Then you will have the variable by itself and you will have solved the equation. In example 1, there is no distribution, nor do we need to combine like terms. Our first step then will be to move the x term to one side or the other. We can choose which way to go. In this case, we will subtract 2x from both sides of the equation. This gives us 5x plus 12 equals negative 3. Notice that the x term is on only one side of the equation now. Solving the rest of the way is easy. Subtract 12 from both sides of the equation for 5x equals negative 15. Now divide both sides by 5 for x equals negative 3. In example 2, we cannot really begin until we've eliminated the denominator from the expression on the left. So the first thing before we begin is to multiply both sides of the equation by 2. This gives us 7x plus 4 on the left and negative 6x on the right. Once again, we have a variable on both sides of the equation. This time we'll choose to move the 7x by subtracting 7x from both sides of the equation. This gives us 4 equals negative 13x. Divide both sides by negative 13. The solution then is x equals negative 4 divided by 13. In example 3, we have two sets of fractions. Remember from previous lessons that before we begin solving, we want to eliminate the fractions. To do this, we need to multiply all terms by the least common denominator of the fractions. In this case, the least common denominator is 6. Multiply 6 times the top of each fraction only, for 6x over 2 minus 30x over 3 equals 18x plus 12 divided by 3. Now we can simplify to eliminate the fractions. 6 divided by 2 is 3x, minus 30 divided by 3x is negative 10x, 18x, and then 12 divided by 3 is 4. Now we can follow the steps we learned today. Combine like terms for 3 minus 10x, negative 7x, 18x plus 4. Now we need to move the x term to one side or the other by adding or subtracting. To move the 18x to the left, subtract 18x from both sides. This gives negative 25x equals 4. The last step is to divide by negative 25. The solution then is x equals negative 4/25. Now pause the video and try the next example yourself. Remember the order. Start with distribution, look for combining like terms, move the variable by adding or subtracting, then add or subtract a constant, then multiply or divide. When the variable is isolated, you have completed the problem. Now that you have tried it, check your work. Begin with distribution. Negative 5 times x is negative 5x. Negative 5 times negative 4 is positive 20. Write plus 2. Equals 2 times x is 2x. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. Minus 5x. Now combine like terms. On the left, the like terms are 20 plus 2 for negative 5x plus 22. On the right, the like terms are 2x minus 5x for negative 3x minus 6. Now move the variable to one side. Let's choose to move the 3x. Add 3x to both sides of the equation. This gives us negative 2x plus 22 equals -6. Now subtract 22 from both sides of the equation. This gives us -2x equals -28. Divide both sides by -2. The solution then is x equals +14. In conclusion, to solve equations with variables on both sides, start by distributing, then combine like terms, then move the variable term by adding or subtracting a variable term to both sides of the equation, then add or subtract a constant, and finally multiply or divide. Please refer to these notes often as you complete your homework. Thank you.